a Fanboys Forever production.
Hello,
well,
friends.
hello again.
How are we?
It's been quite a while, we know, but
right.
that's that's my phone.
Yeah, that's it. My goodness, man. Even his phone is dying. It's been
I know,
that
yeah, it's
long.
dying. I'll
It's
tell you what, I'm
ridiculous.
gonna live on camera, not live, pre-recorded on camera, if I can get my pattern right.
Ridiculous.
I'm gonna turn the sound all the way down.
I scorn him so much for this.
I know, that's the technology age for you.
Oh boy. Well,
Yes, folks, it's been a while. It's been since I guess late last fall. We
yeah.
brought you a slew of Ninja Turtles reviews.
Yeah.
Pretty much the tie-in to
that wore me
the
out,
movie,
by the way. When you're working full time and you know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
you're trying to do that stuff,
Absolutely.
it really bites. So
Speaking of working full time, I've had a second career change in a year recently. That was the big break-off point that we weren't able to get anything done. But things are kind of leveling out for both of us. Work's ramping down for the year for Jared, and I'm moved up to a different kind of position. So we're in good shape. We're going to have a little more free time coming into the summer. So we're going to start bringing you the all-new, all-different, but not really different Fanboys Forever.
I want to say sort of different.
Yeah,
actually,
mildly.
The sort of all new, sort of different kind of Fanboys Forever. This
Kindly
is
different.
kindly. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is what I would refer to as, I guess, episode 1 of kind of our new format. Basically, what we want to do is get it a little more casual. We just want to talk about stuff that interests us. Talk about a little bit about this and that. Geek culture a little bit, all that great stuff. So,
we liked dabbling in everything, but it was kind of difficult to juggle them. So instead of killing ourselves, focusing on details like we have in the past, it's going to be broad strokes from here on. And we'll get a chance to cover more material. We'll get a chance to be more person to person with it, I think, when it comes down
our
to
goal is to maybe do one of these episodes a month. And if it gets more popular, hopefully we can roll out a couple. Maybe that would be nice.
We'll still probably do a few things in between here and there, obviously.
Special videos, something that really excites us. We'll talk a little bit more about
videos, and maybe the big thing is we want to get away from doing the point by point, very specific toy reviews. It was getting really boring. It was getting really...
And, I was watching them, and they were sort of boring. And they're good videos.
Yeah.
They're high quality. They're
I'm
well
proud
made.
of the work. I think, like, the Ninja Turtles, the movie classics, which if you haven't seen, go check out.
Yeah.
But I think that was some
really
of our
fun.
best work ever, but it was just getting so grueling and repetitive. And, I give big props to people out there who do that stuff all the time, and we never could keep up with it full time like a lot of them do. But, anyway, so we want to get away from that because it was just, we were burnt out. So we want to do a little bit of everything now.
I guess let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
First thing I want to talk about, I guess, is if we're talking about current events in geekdom, we're going to talk a little bit about the Netflix Daredevil series. Now, before I go any further with this, number one, I'm Daredevil's greatest fan in the Eastern Kentucky area. I'm positive of this.
Probably in the whole state.
In the state, I'm sure of this. However, the world, who knows? There's some people out there giving me a run for my money.
Yeah.
Koljit Mithra,
Yeah.
I'm sure he is a bigger fan of Daredevil than I am.
Yeah,
Shout out to manwithoutfear.com, website I wrote a couple little summaries for way back in the day when I was a teenager, but it was a great place. We have special history with Daredevil, don't we,
We do,
Brandon?
we have very particular history.
This is
Not
sort
a lot
of
of people
embarrassing.
have. Yeah, it almost is.
How many of you all remember going to
Comics to
film.com and looking at a little article about these guys who were going to make a Daredevil Born Again fan film based on the Frank Miller graphic novel? Well, you're looking at them here.
Guilty.
I was a junior in high school.
We were kids. It's funny to think at the
16.
time, when you're like 16, 17 years old, you think you're an adult, but looking back, it was like, we were a bunch of dumb kids.
That was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 10 years ago. And we thought we were going to get together this awesome fan film. I remember
At the time, fan films were the rage.
Oh, man,
it was huge.
Batman Dead End was huge, if you all
it just
remember
come
that.
out recently. And there was Bat in the Sun Productions they had done a Batman Beyond film, I think.
Yes, they had done that.
All kinds of stuff like that coming out. So it was, the atmosphere was great for it. And, we had a lot of enthusiasm, but it was just, talk about an undertaking, beyond our grasp.
To my credit, I wrote this gigantic script that took weeks of my life to write. It was this huge adaptation of Born Again. I actually made a lot of little changes and adjustments to where I thought it would make it a better movie.
Yeah, well, we had replaced Nuke with Bullseye, for instance. Which I still think is a really good idea.
I redesigned Daredevil costume to where it would look. It was more like a kind of like this sweater kind of thing, and that sounds really weird. But I'll have to bring some of my old drawings out.
Yeah, at the time it made
But man, I was so into Daredevil when I was in high school, and you gotta keep in mind this was like 2004 to 2006.
Yeah.
And this was the time to be into Daredevil because Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev was doing those awesome runs on Daredevil, and there was nothing like it in the whole comic book
Back
world.
in our, I almost hate to admit it because it's embarrassing, but
Lots of things are embarrassing.
Yeah, in our super angsty teenage years, and we were like, we were the epitome, we were the definition of angst back in high school. It was that Jared had his Brian Michael Bendis run of Daredevil, and I had my Garth Ennis run of the Punisher, and we just lived like every month. That's what we lived for, was to get those books.
Those issues
and we talk about them. We because those are two very interrelated characters. Now, so we just say, hey man, guess what's happening to the Punisher? And he's like, oh, check out what's happening.
Yeah, we were trying to outdo each other with what was happening, and I would brag about Daredevil. He'd brag about Punisher a little bit. It was kind of weird. Which is a great parallel in real life because in real life Brandon is violent and psychotic, and I'm extremely religious. Mm-hmm. So you see, that's perfect for both of us. But no, those were great times. Oh, absolutely, really awesome.
Yeah. My favorite time to be a comic book reader. It's funny because I love comics so much, but like I've not. It's been a year and a half since I've hardly even. I'll pick up a monthly comic every once in a while and just check
usually
it out.
DC, by the way.
Yeah, almost always.
Almost never Marvel.
But yeah, although I did. Some of that new Ghost Rider stuff from last year was really good.
And I have been reading some of Mark Waid's Daredevil. Mark Waid, who I have a history of sparring with online. I wasn't very happy with him over a few things.
More personal history.
Yeah, more personal history with Mark Waid, but that's for another episode, and we'll talk about that later on. But Daredevil, getting a little off topic here, if that's okay. Yeah. Netflix series come out, we heard it was coming along. I'm not a big fan of how Jeff Loeb has handled Marvel TV so far. The animation department has went to crap.
Yeah, well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is, right now, if anybody who's watching it right now, it may be difficult to remember how hard it was to kind of trudge through those early episodes. Now, I'll say this, which a lot of people won't give it credit for. I think the show got better a lot sooner than people realized, but I think the problem was people had given up on it so soon that they weren't seeing. I think by about a third of the way into the first season, it got really good, and it was extremely good by the end of the first season. The second one's been good, but yeah, especially I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be easy to compare Daredevil to the Flash and to Arrow and Gotham and everything, but it is a whole different animal. We won't get into it, but it's going to be. On everybody's mind to compare it to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., first Marvel TV. But yeah, Loeb's handling of the animation is what we couldn't stand. You cancel Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is probably since the 90s stuff is the best received Marvel, or Spectacular Spider-Man was, of course, very well received, but best Marvel cartoon ever, according to a lot of people. Yeah. Great show.
And brought in a lot of obscure Marvel characters that nobody knew anything about. Yeah. I mean, the general populace anyway. And now kids know who they are.
Yeah, now kids are, crazy about, these some pretty obscure characters, and that's great. So, I don't know, it was, and Loeb, I really loved Jeff Loeb. His Batman stories. Dark Victory is it's my favorite one of those three.
Good, yeah. Long Halloween is a classic.
Also great. And he wrote Daredevil Yellow, which should have been, it's funny because we were talking about this earlier today, it didn't really... I
really had forgotten about it because I had gotten kind of mad at Jeff Loeb lately, and I kind of forgot all of his big creative accomplishments. Yeah. And I sort of forgot. I wasn't really thinking that he had wrote Daredevil Yellow. Yeah. I have no idea why I didn't think of that. But, so I should have known that it was in good hands. But needless to say, spoiler alert, the show is just fantastic. Yeah, Daredevil is so good. Yeah. A lot of people are calling it the Breaking Bad of superhero shows.
Yeah, comic book TV.
And I can definitely see that. Now, that's not to say that it's as good as Breaking Bad or anything like that.
Or Better Call Saul. For that
Better Call Saul.
If you of the two lawyer dramas this year, Better Call Saul is definitely the better of the two.
Yeah, sorry, but still. Yeah. But I have not good authority. It's a better superhero show than Better Call Saul. I know this. Although
Saul's pretty superheroic, if you ask me.
He's my hero.
Yeah, stick it up for those old people.
That's right.
But anyway, yes, it's difficult to start because you've got 12 hours of just exceptional TV to pick through, and we had discussed even the possibility of maybe doing a full length commentary, speak through an episode and let you sync it up. Yeah, and at some point we'll probably do that. So if that's something you'd like to see,
please definitely tell us about it. Because we want to know if that's something.
Because it has crossed our minds, and that's a format we've been interested in doing for a long time. We've just been looking for the right project, and I think Daredevil may very well be it.
But yeah, it was a great show. We'll get into more specifics later. I don't know, it's just so wonderful. What, do you have one favorite element, or what do you think?
Well, let's do favorite episode first.
Okay.
And then we'll go into
All
a
right,
couple more
let's
episodes.
hit your favorite episode.
Episode 8, my very favorite episode.
Great
is
choice.
The origin
Great
of the
choice.
Kingpin, who's one of my favorite comic book characters ever. It's funny to say because he's become so synonymous with Daredevil, but I think mostly because of the '90s Spider-Man cartoon. The Kingpin is my favorite Spider-Man villain of all, which of course would make him my favorite Daredevil villain for sure too.
Naturally.
But just one of my favorite, as far as I'm concerned, in Marvel Comics villains up there. For me, with Doctor Doom, and all the biggest ones, all of my big favorites, the Kingpin, huge character for me. So to see something, to see a character's origin, and the big thing I think is that the advantage of TV is that you get to see like a full-fledged origin of a villain, which you might not necessarily see in a single feature film.
You know what I like is how it's told that we're introduced to the Kingpin through these like awesome dates with Vanessa.
Yeah.
And we kind of see him as this like wonderfully vulnerable, socially awkward person who seems like a really decent human being.
Yeah.
But then episode 8 is the first, one of the first big indicators.
That he's
that he is completely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, because we knew it before because of the crazy violent stuff, and needless to say, this is spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Crazy violent stuff like taking the guy's...
Yeah, smashing the guy's head off. By the way, I think we should probably throw this out there. Daredevil's not a kid's show.
That's right.
There's going to be a lot of kids, you kids are going to
have a lot of children try to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, they love the Marvel stuff. I think Age of Ultron is probably going to be pretty age appropriate, but you got your kids that love Guardians of the Galaxy. I would say pretty hard cut off. I don't think anybody younger than 13 needs to be watching Daredevil. No. And even then, if you got a sensitive kid,
we've got like Walking Dead level violence.
Yeah. That kind of extreme. Some real, like, body violence.
Yeah, body violence. And like headless torsos,
And it's one thing, maybe a kid could stomach seeing the villain be very violent like that, which is one thing. But you see Daredevil take a lot of, like serious, like, blood and guts violence.
That leads me to what may be my favorite episode. And it's because I love the Frank Miller stuff so much. But the episode where Daredevil takes an extreme amount of body violence is when he fights Nobu, and I believe that's episode 9 or 10. Yeah, and that is just so incredible to me. That fight is the first inkling of, okay, this is a show that's a comic book.
Yeah,
and the whole series, everything is like super grounded, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
and suddenly this like elaborate
a ninja
red
shows
ninja,
up.
Like a comic book ninja just pops up.
And I love it how the Kingpin, and I was wondering about this as I watched it. Yes, I have a Daredevil figure in my hand. I was wondering about this as I watched the episode, and Kingpin tells Nobu, he says, you got to handle this. You got to get somebody on it. And that ninja steps out. And I was like, is that Nobu?
Yeah.
Like, handling it personally? And he was so hardcore that he just shows up. Yeah. He's like, okay, I'm here, man. Let's just go.
Hand regalia.
Yeah, and I'm positive that Nobu is an emissary of the Hand.
Oh, yeah.
That he represents them. They've not mentioned the name yet, but all the hints with the stick episode. And I think if me and Brandon had a joint favorite episode, it's probably the stick episode.
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
Man. I believe that's episode 7.
Yeah. So it's 7, 8, 9. Or,
7, 8, 9.
The middle
like
of the very
trilogy.
middle of the show, and that's where it hits its.
Oh man!
It's the true comic book height of the show is in that stretch
of
episodes.
I would say episode 2 is a huge favorite because of that incredible one-cut fight scene that they did, which is just awesome.
Like the Korean old boy.
Korean old boy.
That was great. 4, I love that one too. It's hard.
Last one is incredible.
Yeah,
I've watched the last one twice already.
The last 2 are fantastic. The last 2 make such an excellent Daredevil movie. Is what they really do. Like a great hour and 40 minutes.
I will say this, and this is major spoilers here, so please skip the next minute or two. But as for surprises for the show, the number one most surprising thing to me was that they killed poor old Ben Urich.
No, yeah.
And in the most violent and grueling way, when the Kingpin just bears down on him and strangles the life out of him. I was blown away by that. I couldn't believe it.
Brave move, because
Ben Urich, he's never been killed in the comics.
Yeah.
Not for real.
Yeah.
So
and in fact, I think you're getting at the End of Days alternate reality story by Bendis, and it's funny because he lives longer than Daredevil.
Yeah, longer than Daredevil does
in that story.
I was so
bold move.
Even though they changed, the race of the character, which in this case, I'm almost positive that they didn't put out a feeler and say, we need a guy who's black to play Ben Urich.
Yeah.
I honestly think they hired the best guy in the room.
I'm sure that they tested several guys, and man,
that turns out he's just Ben Urich.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, him being black has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
He is just so wonderful at it, and it just hurt my heart to see him, get killed.
Especially in that way.
And Dolores, everything with Dolores in the show, which is, the name of Ben Urich's wife in the comics, too, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, they got everything, yeah.
When you hear River to Cross at the beginning of the last episode, during his funeral, it is, what would you say, soulful?
Yeah.
I guess, and not in a cliched way.
Yeah.
It is just incredibly sad.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Cox is standing there as comic book Matt Murdock.
Yeah,
I mean, just with a scarf on, with his hands on
pulled right off of the page.
He's just sitting there, chilling as Daredevil. It is just overwhelming, especially when Dolores says that even after Ben died, he is still taking care of her with that life insurance policy. Yeah. That is just beautiful. Their relationship was so good.
And the kind of thing that you can only get from episodic, soap opera, kind of television.
Soap opera.
The perfect format for Daredevil. The kind of character who you could never reach those kind of emotional depths with a one-off feature film.
Well, before we go on and on about Daredevil, I guess we'll save it for... Just tell us. You want to hear more about our insane rants about Daredevil and how good it is?
I could keep talking.
And there was a couple episodes that weren't strong.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about those too. So if you want to hear us complain about it, also tell us you want to hear about these videos. By the way, quick plug for Hasbro. I promise I don't work for them, and I promise I paid full price for this figure. But here we go. This is the brand new Daredevil figure from the Marvel Legends Infinite series. Really cool figure. It's got a great range of articulation. It is made out of super strong material, super strong plastic. So this thing is extremely sturdy. I have a huge collection of Daredevil figures, and this is a great amalgamation of all of them.
I think as a conglomerate, it's about the best one yet.
Yeah,
it's kind of
it kind of works as all kinds of Daredevils.
Yeah, it really does.
I definitely, if I had to say one artist that I see more influence from, probably Joe Quesada's Daredevil in the face, especially with the way the nose is made and everything, like a Guardian Devil Daredevil. I'm definitely not talking about Daredevil Father when I say that. Yeah. I'm talking about Guardian Devil. Really, really great figure, though.
Yeah,
awesome.
Great figure. Yeah, from a great wave too. I'm excited to get my hands on a bunch of those. I made the mistake of buying all those Amazing Spider-Man 2 wave figures last year, which
thinking Amazing Spider-Man 2 would be a good movie.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I thought for sure it would be.
Yeah. Boy, we won't get into that. We'll really be here all night if we get into how bad Amazing Spider-Man 2
for
was.
Another episode.
But this new wave of Spider-Man classics is great.
It's so good.
Daredevil.
So good.
And apparently, maybe this is gonna be something for us to talk about. A Walgreens exclusive wave of Daredevil Legends?
Yeah, it's either a wave or it's a single Walgreens exclusive
which they've
figure.
been doing some exclusive stuff for McFarlane and for Hasbro the last little bit.
And of course they did the Agent Venom figure, if I remember correctly, for Hasbro. So, they were already big. The Boba Fett prototype.
Yeah, prototype
figure.
Boba Fett you can get Walgreens.
So I'm excited. I really, really hope there's some TV show figures in here.
Yeah, it would be a real shame if they didn't get to do that.
Really wanting a stick figure pretty badly, guys. Man. Come on. Really wanting...
you could do a whole wave of...
all the untapped comic book characters. Typhoid Mary and the Owl and, Stiltman.
Yeah, Stiltman would be my big favorite.
Build a figure, that would be incredible for Stiltman.
I want the Unholy Three.
Yep. Those guys are awesome.
Oh, gosh. But, can't recommend Daredevil enough. If you've got the stomach for it, I mean, if you don't like seeing blood and stuff, it's not for you. But
as for, anything risque in the show, there's sort of some halfway this and that,
really.
But not especially.
Yeah.
It's
they veered
mostly
away from that,
It's mostly a little bit of language, and but no F-bombs or anything that was dropped, anything like that.
I don't think the F word exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I don't think anybody knows it.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure Wilson Fisk would have said it. If anybody knew it. If anybody knew it.
Yeah.
And if Luke Cage don't say it, ain't nobody going to say it. You got me?
Maybe.
Ain't nobody going to say it.
Yeah.
But, that's it for Daredevil.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely.
show. Yeah, wonderful.
High marks.
Looking forward for, hopefully Season 2 is coming around sooner than The Defenders is. Hopefully we'll see Season 2 before that.
Yeah, I would love to see that. But, we'll see how their game plan plays out. But, go Daredevil. Love it. Love it to death.
2 thumbs up.
Absolutely. 4 thumbs up. Okay, so more news out there recently. Today, actually, today as of when we're posting this video, or late last night and today, we got 2... one teaser for a trailer and 1 full-fledged trailer, and I think you'll know exactly what we're talking about if you check the date. Last night we got our first official footage released from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Just the costume.
Yeah,
Just the costume.
and they're looking great. I mean, we've seen the costumes, so we have a good indication. But you definitely get the vibe they're going for,
which is epic and iconic, and kind of gods among men kind of thing. That's what they're going for.
Kind of punch in the gut kind of stuff. Like they really want you to feel it. So. Great, and I can't wait for that trailer, and maybe we'll talk a little more about that.
Should be here on Monday officially, if not sooner because of that leak.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers may be forced into releasing the official trailer,
which seems to happen pretty frequently. It happened with the second Age of Ultron trailer, so that was great. But the far bigger trailer news is, of course, the Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. But it's not, there's no Episode 7
They don't
anywhere.
put Episode 7 on it,
so it's just,
which is probably a good idea, honestly.
Because I think that's the numbering just became so identified with the prequels. But, the Force Awakens, the second trailer, the first full trailer, released today. And you talk about the feels. I mean,
it's incredible, man.
I'm trying my best, and we both have, and we've both done very well. Trying not to get too carried away, with excitement.
That's the last thing I want to do is get to where I think it's going to be perfect or something, because that's just foolishness when people go that far with it.
And we're both too grown to be. We've been burned so many times, and we're not talking about the prequels.
No, I love the prequels. They're really good movies. Yeah. Episode 2 not as strong,
But we've been burned with things like Superman Returns before, or Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, those were terrible movies.
Where you just you build it up so much in your mind, and it's easy with something like Star Wars, where it's a brand that's been around for nearly 40 years now. It's hard not to get, especially this, which is the return to form. But so we're playing it cool, but it's gonna be we're really in the home stretch here.
This is like ramp up time. Yeah. And
we're going to start seeing toys pretty soon. We're going to start seeing all kinds of other advertisements by San Diego Comic-Con. So many more cats are going to be out of the bag on Episode 7. So it's going to be very difficult to play it cool.
Favorite moment from the new trailer? What do you think?
Oh, man. I don't know. The giant... It's funny to say because it's the first part of the trailer, but the giant crashed Death Star in the background.
The Star Destroyer.
Yeah, Star Destroyer.
Giant crashed Star Destroyer really blew me away because it's almost a level of realism that is so beyond the in-your-face CGI of the prequels, which I don't have a problem with, but it didn't really seem real a lot of the time. It was just in your face,
and it didn't become Star Wars.
But here, almost like a mountain, we have a photorealistic, off in the distance Star Destroyer, almost like this huge landform, and it's just so cool. My eyes lit up when I saw it.
Of course, I physically couldn't restrain myself from smiling at the end of the trailer when Han Solo and Chewbacca show up.
Yeah, to me that kind of trumps all. As much as I love the Star Destroyer, that's my favorite moment. Chewie, we're home. It's so good. It's so good.
And Harrison Ford looks great, and the Chewbacca costume looks incredible. Whatever they did to make this one, kudos to them. Man. I hope that person has a job for the rest of
There's rumors, and who knows? We'll see if this pans out or not. But there's rumors that Han Solo is kind of a main character in this movie. He's sort of like the lead character in Episode 7. I hope that pans out.
I hope so, yeah.
And I know that it's more about, the younger generation.
The next generation.
But I sort of think that Han might be the lead out of all the old characters.
Yeah,
he's kind of going to be the one,
Yeah.
Him and Chewbacca, all that.
I would think that's a pretty big indication. But yeah, it's everything about the Silver Stormtrooper, the Cobra Commander Stormtrooper.
The Darth Vader's, head
the burnt helmet
stuff, and it's
the X-wings on the water. It's
new characters look so cool.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier.
BB-8.
Kylo Ren is the most Star Wars sounding name
ever.
They couldn't distill the nature of Star Wars down to, which is funny. I brought this up to Jared some months ago when that name was released, but there's actually in the Droids cartoon from the 80s, there's a character called Kylo Ren. So I don't know if anybody just happened to see that.
Ben Bird insisted that be put in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Ben Bird's doing. Yeah. Thank you, George.
But, I bring up the Droids cartoon. It was just seeing this stuff. When I was a kid watching the original trilogy on VHS, it was so. It was an odd feeling to see any other, at the time, we're talking about before the pre-prequels, we're talking about before a lot of expanded universe stuff is when I was watching the movies for the first time. There had been the first few books, come out, Heir to the Empire and things. But to see any of that Star Wars stuff out of context of just those 3 movies, so when they would show like the Droids cartoon series on Sci-Fi Channel, or when I'd see like the old Han Solo books, Han Solo at Star's End and stuff, when you see that stuff out of context of the 3 movies where you knew them like by heart, it was such a strange feeling for me, because Star Wars is a real I think we reflect emotionally in Star Wars like more. It's funny because we don't talk about Star Wars a lot. We haven't in Fanboys Forever videos, but it really is a big deal to both of us. But it's that weird mystery sense associated with some of that early Star Wars material that I was talking about. That's exactly what this trailer made me feel like. So hands down, just the best trailer.
It feels kind of dangerous.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
epic
absolutely.
and dangerous. That's what this feels like. I salute J.J. Abrams, the director, for being able to kind of like say, I'm going to cross that bridge. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go there.
Absolutely.
And just, and it's funny because the mantle fell to someone who was so humble about it that he had the same response I did, which is what I would have said if I was director, which is like, I don't want to mess with this. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I don't want to be the guy that
I'd be very
ruins
intimidated,
it. And, when you have that attitude, and you're not like one of these people, it's like, I'm going to fix Star Wars.
When you're not
I hated those prequels.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it. That can lead to trouble.
Yeah.
And that's not what we got here. We have somebody who is so conscientious of being a custodian of Star Wars that he just wants to make sure he's doing a great job.
And someone who has, taken up the reins on, Star Trek, obviously, but has come into, like, big franchises like Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah.
And has done, a lot of great work, to bring them back to form.
That's right. Lost, I'm a huge Lost fan, and that show was so superb. JJ helped make that show happen, and form that show and shape it, but he's just such a talent. I'm really, really glad that he's on our side.
Yeah, they picked that was the... It's funny because it was kind of an obvious pick because of his, him, rebooting.
But it seemed like a pick that would never ever happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those too good to be true. It's one of those sort of fan casts.
I remember when they talked about him, and I looked at Brandon and I was like, if that would ever happen.
We were at the time, I don't know if you remember, but at the time, Jon Favreau was getting thrown around, and that's who I really wanted.
Yeah, I thought, well, Jon Favreau, he could probably do it. Yeah. And it turned out later that when they asked him, he was like, he really wished he could have, He really was after it. I'm sure that he wished that could have happened, but
he'll get a chance to do.
But Jon Favreau he's not
a director at the caliber.
He's not a consistent director. He's a great director, but he's not a consistent director. Which I'm sure he could direct a movie much better than I do.
Yeah, exactly. We love Jon Favreau as an actor,
man, he is great. If you didn't laugh at him as Foggy Nelson in the original Daredevil in 2003, then you're just a hater. I'm sorry, he was hilarious.
Absolutely.
As Foggy. I laughed so hard at all of his jokes. The running gag about the alligators in the sewer, that was too funny. All the blind jokes, especially in the director's cut when Foggy is trying to do like the detective work. It is so funny. But
and the mustard and the tea is funny.
Mustard and the tea is hilarious. When he's describing Lecter and says she's absolutely hideous, it's funny. So whatever. The new Foggy guy is really funny too.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks kid.
Yeah. I guess he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I never thought about that before. But great trailer. I was so pleased, so wonderful.
Star Destroyer is my very favorite part. Yeah. But again, it's it's so hard to pick something.
Luke's narration was so awesome. I was so happy. This thing it's going to break new barriers for Star Wars. I think that this is the next phase of Star Wars. Yeah. And more than the prequels ever could be. The prequels almost seemed like it was still living in the old phase of Star Wars. Yeah, between special editions and everything else.
It really was.
This really is the new... I really think this is, for this generation, I think this is Star Wars.
Which is funny because Star Wars was never dead at all in the interim between the prequels with video games and cartoon series.
I think there's
been more Star Wars in between the prequels and these new films than ever before, but it's still just... I don't know, there's something so fundamentally, new about it.
It's about the rug's about to get pulled out from under us on this, but it's so awesome. Yeah. Another thing we're wanting to do with our Fanboys Forever segments, or episodes, should I say, is we just, instead of giving you grueling, long toy reviews, we just want to show you some of our cool pickups from the past couple of months. Since we have a couple of months to catch up on, I thought I'd start out by talking about the new Ular figure, even though I don't have him out right now with me. He's a great figure. He's the Jungle He-Man from Masters of the Universe Classics, which is a line we absolutely love. We never really did review them because why? Everybody else gets them like 2 months early.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to watch a review. It's 2 months late, and we don't have these big HD setups and all this. We're not Pixel Man.
Yeah.
You know, who's getting these figures sent, you know, whatever. We pay for these figures, but have a look.
That doesn't mean we love them any less.
Here, I'm just gonna try to, you know, throw this out there. This is incredible. This is the new head sculpt that we've gotten. My lighting's not too great, but who cares?
Yeah. The true vintage He-Man.
Yeah, true vintage He-Man head sculpt, and you just plop it right on top of your figure. He looks awesome. This is just such an improvement over the old one. I was really excited to get this figure, this head sculpt, should I say, for my original He-Man. Little tip for people who's wondering what the best He-Man is that you can put together. I personally think that if you take the oversprayed body from the very first release of He-Man, the one that had too much red overspray on it and was too shiny, that he looks more like the paintings from way back when. And then if you take the vest, which is kind of the light-colored vest, from
Superman 2-pack?
Yeah, from the Superman 2-pack, and you throw it on there, I think it creates a really good contrast, and it gives you much more of like a painting He-Man, which is what I'm always after. And this new face is really, really just very...
Straight vintage.
Yeah, it's straight vintage.
I mean,
so cool.
It looks almost like you've just popped the head off of a vintage figure and just stuck it on your classics.
It's so great. I can't recommend Ular enough because of that reason.
Now, he is... We'll throw this out there. He's the subscription figure, so he's not available anymore, and the only way to get him was to have been a subscriber for the year.
Ular.
So he's going to be a little difficult to get, but, you know...
This is the other big one that me and Brandon's been excited about.
Man.
Yeah.
Yes. So, if you were, you know, Jared and I are not of the He-Man generation. You know, we were born, you know, several years later.
We missed it.
We really did miss it. We even missed New Adventures, which... did it really exist when it was supposed to be out? We never know, because it was supposed to be around when we were kids, and I never saw a single thing.
Yeah. If you're one of these people that were like, okay, I was born in '87, and so, you know, I was a kid of the very early '90s, you know, but I don't remember seeing a single New Adventures He-Man figure. Did you?
Not one.
Does anybody here
out
remember?
there, you know, just
Can you give me some proof that they were actually out? Somebody once said that they were at KB Toys, and that they didn't like get a lot of distribution in like Walmart.
That would probably be. I don't know.
I could see them being at Kmart.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
In my mind, I like have this image of them being all hanging out at Kmart.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. They're probably still hanging out at the back room of some Kmart somewhere.
Yeah.
But so for us, the first new He-Man ever was what we now call the 2000X series.
That's when I decided to jump on. I actually tried to watch the Filmation series before that, and I absolutely hated it. So I still don't think it's wonderful, but I like it. It's
of its time. You know, if you didn't watch it when you were a kid, like a lot of
really
things
hard.
It's like a kid, 8-10 years old now trying to watch the first season of Power Rangers.
Yeah, they just.
It's probably not going to be very good to them.
I don't think that they would get it.
Yeah, it's not going to attract them.
Yeah.
But so the 2000X series, the Mike Young Productions cartoon series, and the Mattel toy line, which was the first time that the Four Horsemen, our favorite sculptors, were working with the brand, and they still are to this day. So it led somewhere. But the big, they tried all kinds of different new, in the original run you had all these variants that were nearly as iconic as the original He-Man. Battle Armor He-Man.
To me, the Battle Armor He-Man figure, which I'll save that story for another time, the Battle Armor He-Man figure that I happened to have when I was a kid, which is all I knew of He-Man, to me was He-Man. And so I was shocked when I found out later that he was really just supposed to be wearing the silver vest. He was bare chested. I thought he just wore silver armor all the time, you know.
But they tried all kinds of brand new He-Man variants in that series, but in the second year, or the cartoon series anyway, I guess probably the third year they were doing figures or something. I don't know specifics. But they introduced, to fight they brought back one of the original villains, King Hiss, and they gave us the brand new, incredible Snake Armor He-Man.
Isn't that beautiful?
And
I love this design so much.
Absolutely. He's got this, like, a gladiator, is what I always think of, like Kirk Douglas and Spartacus.
Yeah, very
like
Spartacus.
the chainmail on the one arm. Just a real savage, a real super high fantasy He-Man. And I just absolutely love it. This figure is kind of a wish fulfillment for a lot of people because it's funny. This was, for the second big wave of product, Masters of the Universe versus the Snake Man. This was the main He-Man figure.
Yeah.
But it didn't get released in the United States.
Yeah, I actually ended up getting on eBay later on, and I bought one from overseas.
Yeah.
And I
only
loved
released
it.
in Europe.
But later on, when I started collecting Masters Classics, I said, you know what? They're going to do one of these days. And I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and sell this. So I sold it. Sure enough,
made really good money.
Made really good money off of it. As a matter of fact, one of the big reasons people want this figure, and it's a great reason, you take your regular old He-Man figure, pop off his head.
Pop off Snake Armor He-Man's head.
And then, there we go. You have a sort of 2000X He-Man. And you know what? You can even really do this. It's even better to do this with your King Grayskull figure that actually has the 2000X armor. But here's just a little look at what he looks like with all that, you know. Really nice, just beautiful. It actually works really well. The skin tones match up really nicely. He looks pretty legit, I gotta say.
Really. So that's another big piece of wish fulfillment.
Here's something fun.
Yeah. And you know, here...
There's a lot of He-Man head options now.
This looks so strange, but at the time, a couple years ago, we were sure this is just what we were going to get. Or something. I mean, not this head. This is the vintage.
Right, we thought it would be the old Classics head. You know,
the first edition Classics.
Pretty cool looking, I gotta say.
Yeah,
Let's you imagine what it would have been like. You know.
What might have been Earl Norm's Snake Armor He-Man.
Snake Armor He-Man, yeah. But great figures. I was so pleased.
Yeah.
I got a Huntera this past time, and I was really pleased with her. But she had a derpy eye, so I had to actually send it back, and my replacement is coming in. So, but it was a good figure. It was just, you know, that one of those rare quality control flub ups on paint for Masters figures, which usually doesn't happen in terms of paint.
They're good. There's a lot of.
And usually I don't have any breakage or anything like that. Now, of course, don't even go there about the reverse shoulders, people. Seriously.
Yeah, I've never.
If you don't know what they are, don't even look into it. People whine about those reverse shoulders.
I've never had a problem with any Masters figures. I've had a couple issues with some DC. Classics.
I've had some issues with those. I remember.
Metron. His hand was busted, and somebody else. I'm trying to remember. Oh no, Metron. No, I did have a Masters problem. My optic. No, not optic. Fearless Photog.
Yep, Fearless Photog.
The lens in his head was cracked, which I understand was a fairly common problem for a lot of people. But I sent it back, and the second one I got was perfectly fine. So
so it was okay.
Yeah.
Here's, of course, King Hiss. He comes in a 2-pack with Snake Armor He-Man. It's the only way to get them. And these were, if you missed out on these, I really don't know what to tell you. They were so wonderful. I mean, to me, it's the best product that's been available on the Matty Collector website. And that's out of all the licenses, you know. Aside from Castle Grayskull, to me, it's the finest product that was available. This incredible 2-pack. Wish fulfillment to the max. So great figures.
I want to give. Is he? Wildor around here?
Yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to. This was the holiday figure for 2014. This is one that I've been waiting for such a long time.
We paid a holiday price.
We paid an inflated Christmas price. But this is Wildor. He's an original character from the '87 He-Man movie, which I watched a lot as a kid on video. We've gotten 2 characters from that movie so far, Blade and Gwildor here. And Gwildor is just, without a doubt, the very best head sculpt from the line that they've done, like by far.
He looks just like Billy Barty.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if his estate knows about that or not. But hey guys, if you're a Billy Barty's estate, be cool about it.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Just be glad that this figure came out.
Be glad that there is a Billy Barty figure.
It's incredible.
You know? It's awesome.
But so this is this and the 2 figures in the King Hiss pack are just the cream of the crop of Masters. I think the horsemen are hitting their stride in some weird way. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's
this is a big uptime for them.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely,
this is really big,
and especially at a time when the line is supposed to be in decline.
Yeah, supposedly. So, but right now it's when they're hitting it out of the park, man. This is like the classics right now. As for other pickups, I got a really cool, which I'm not going to bother showing it or anything. You can look it up online. The really cool NECA Nintendo-inspired 8-bit Rambo figure.
Yeah, and I got the Rocky to go with it, too.
He got the Sega Master System Rocky.
Yeah.
Which are just really wonderful figures.
Fantastic.
Just such great presentations. Other than that...
All those video game figures are winners, pretty much.
Oh, man. Every one of them has been great. I didn't care for the Predator much because it was a little boring.
Yeah.
But, we're not major Predator collectors. Sometimes we wish we were, but we've missed too much of it, so we can't
We got pretty tempted sometimes.
As for the DC Collectibles side of things, let's talk about some of those. These are the new Batman animated series.
Yeah,
figures.
if you haven't been following them, they've for several months now, since last year, been doing these. This is as almost as hotly requested as Star Wars Black Series. Real collectors, 6-inch scale action figures based on the Bruce Timm animated shows. Now, so far they've done Batman and Batman, A New Adventures of Batman. But let's assume that at some point they'll do Superman and Batman Beyond and Justice League and things, which they've been very successful, so there's no reason to think that they haven't. But what we got here are just 2 of the finest examples, which they've done about a dozen figures so far, I guess. But Two of the very best here is Robin. Well, let's show the Joker first, because Robin's better.
Yeah, Joker is an excellent figure, even though Robin edges him out a little bit. Here he is. He is totally awesome. Great figure. He is huge, for one thing, and the Joker had quite a stature in the animated series. The articulation is really good. You know, he can go do the splits. The arms can go out all the way. And he's got a good single bend on the elbow. He has hinges on the hands. Nothing seems like it's going to break at all.
Yeah.
They've changed the materials, and this thing is as solid as a rock. I had a little bit of paint problem on my Joker teeth, but DC Collectibles, after just like 2 emails, took about half a week. They're taking care of me on that. As a matter of fact, I said, you know, my comic book shop I didn't have anymore. They're actually sending me a brand new Joker figure, just because of the kind of like red smear all over his teeth on one side. They're taking care of me. I really think that collectors have no room to say anything bad about them in terms of quality control.
They made that promise.
Like, new Batmans out to people that had all those issues. I really can't fault them at all for that. Worst problem with this figure, lack of meaningful accessories. He doesn't have a deck of cards.
Yeah.
He's got episode-specific accessories for the, what was it called? The episode, that first one he was in? Well, the one about the garbage barge.
Yeah.
But the only complaint I have is on the legs. They're not, they can only swivel left and right. Yeah. On the knees, not knees, ankles. You can just go left and right, and that's it. They don't have rockers, and they're not really hinged. Yeah. So that's a shame. You know, but other than that, hey, it's a great figure. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
It looks.
But that's the worst problem. They got the Joker's posture right for the first time. Kenner was never able to do it. But
he's kind of like hunched. Yeah. You know, in a weird way, but in a muscular way. Yeah. He always looked like he could take on Batman.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
series.
Now, also, as we alluded before,
this is the tour de force.
I think this is the best figure in the line so far.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And the one that the one that looks so perfect to the model is the original animated series Robin.
It's like the model sheet come to life. I've never seen anything quite like it. Even the color, that weird green is right.
Half of that is the color, because the green is so specific. And again, Kenner could never get that right.
And the paint was so good on this sample. And this was the only one at the store I didn't get to pick up. I didn't get to pick through like a bunch of them. Yeah. Which, let me just go ahead and say these are just incredibly well made. The materials, have improved so much. So they're really good. Great figure. Super articulated.
These are fantastic.
Yeah.
One more quick shout out. We're not going to bring all these out, but after 20 long years, we finally got real action figures for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Man. And I mean,
it's been a long time coming too.
One of our favorite the movies ever.
I sprung to get these figures more obsessively and more quickly than I have
than anything than I can remember
in forever. These were such a big deal to me. Power Rangers the movie was such a big deal when it came out.
To all of us.
To all of us, it was huge, man.
Power Rangers the movie is one of those things that transcended the brand so much that like even kids who at the time, a couple years into the brand, there were kids who were starting to feel like they were too old for Power Rangers, but they got sucked right back in because the movie was so
the movie brought them right back.
The movie was so edgy, by comparison. Huge fans of that movie, and it's again 20 years. It's almost impossible to believe it's been 20 years. That's something that we've talked about. We're going to do something to celebrate that 20th anniversary. We're not sure yet.
I don't know if it's a commentary or what it is, but it's going to be something.
Yeah, absolutely. But Bandai. These are Bandai of America figures, and they have just knocked it out of the park. Bandai of America has never been a collector's company. They've done a few things off and on, Super Legends and things like that. But these are just, new ground for them and articulation.
And they're an incredible retail success. I was at My Toys R Us the other day, and I went in there and I saw a blue Ranger and a yellow Ranger hanging up from the movie stuff. People are clearing them out, and I mean like wildfire. People want these things. They just suck them right up, and they're an incredible, packaging, anniversary packaging. That honors the old movies and things, the old actual packaging, the silver, boxes that they came in.
The triangles.
Really cool. I'll tell you this much: it beats the heck out of those metallic repaints of the original Power Rangers. These are fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're a great deal too. They're like what are they? $16.99.
Yeah. And for a little while there, they were on sale for $12.99 for a few days. So it's really quite a bargain.
In the day we're in, when Marvel Legends are $20, that's
I just paid
a great deal.
$30, almost $40 for a Shadow Moon figure art. From Kamen Rider a couple of days ago. That's a cool figure. I got him out and I messed with him a little bit. Kamen Rider ZO was a really cool figure art. So really neat stuff on that, but that's going into a whole nother area.
Yeah.
I could talk about that all night. So good stuff.
One more real quick toy shout out that I'm gonna throw out here.
Because that's what we're really, we're about the toys more than anything.
But
more than anything we do.
I don't have him with me, but I want to say that I got the Combiner Wars Motormaster figure, and I'll cut a picture in here somewhere just to show you. And he's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I've loved the Stunticons for a long
Man, these
time.
Combiner Wars figures are epic.
Yeah.
And I can't let myself get sucked into this because it's a huge
I'm already in
financial
deep, man.
Brandon's in it now to win.
But I'm the huge Transformers collector.
That's your thing,
So
and
I've got the room to do it.
I'm pretty big on Transformers myself.
Yeah.
But Brandon is on the level to
2
where
levels
it's
up.
like he's deep.
Yeah.
He's so deep that it's like he's got a problem and he can't quit.
Yeah,
It's that he's got a problem and he can't quit. He has to have so many Transformers per month to get to normal.
To live.
To get to normal, like physically normal.
So Motormaster's great. Can't wait to get Megatron, Ultra Magnus.
Magnus. Oh, Magnus.
Looks so great. This Hasbro's knocking out of the park. This is the real 30th anniversary line. Last year was the 30th anniversary of the brand.
It was the 30th anniversary.
That line was nothing.
Yeah,
Combiner Wars is where it's at.
Everything,
Oh man.
Combiner Wars
Great
is
stuff.
the ultimate Transformers fan service.
I don't want to throw the Thrilling 30 under the bus because if somebody would have told me that I'd be getting like a new Whirl and Roadbuster and stuff and Brainstorm.
Don't forget about that RC that came out.
Oh, exactly.
Too, which
so
you just picked up actually.
I just.
RC is a wonderful figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great figure.
Lots of good stuff coming from Hasbro. I don't think it's only going up from here. The quality of the movie-based product and the animation-based product is going down. The generic vintage throwback product is going through the roof.
I think the guys at Hasbro are probably laughing because they've realized that like the animated tie-in product, the Robots in Disguise 2, whatever you want to say, product, it can be nothing and nobody will care. No. Nobody. Because nobody expects anything.
I haven't bought a single one yet. Now, I'm not foolish enough to say I'm not going to buy any.
No,
at some point, I'll break down and I'll buy because I swore up and down when Prime came out. I was like, I'm never going to buy any of these.
We bought a bunch of Prime,
and now I've got like everybody, So.
Well, Prime was a super good show.
Yeah,
like
great
a really good show.
Well, it became an incredible show.
It started out a good show.
Yeah.
Just good, but then it got incredible.
Absolutely.
I don't have the same hopes for Robots in Disguise necessarily, just based on what I've seen of it, but I think it'll be alright.
A lot of the same crew, so
it doesn't look as good.
No, obviously. But
budget cuts.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for me to get invested because it feels like it's not going to be an incarnation of the brand for very long. Like I don't think it's got a 3-year lifespan like Prime did.
I really think, even though I'm sure the writers and everybody has the best of intentions with the show, I think that its main purpose is to sell toys more than anything,
and to fill time between real shows,
between the next real big show. So I think that's where we're at with that, actually.
But speaking of the shows, Rescue Bot's getting picked up for a 4th season, which means that by the end of that, it'll probably be the longest running Transformers cartoon ever. That's crazy. And it's a good show.
It's the
really
real
clever.
Transformers show of this generation.
So Maurice LaMarche and LeVar Burton, who doesn't want to tune in and hear those veteran voice actors every week?
It's so funny. I didn't expect anything of that show, and I've not watched much of it. But I watched the first couple episodes, and that was a really good show.
Yeah, really clever. Great show for kids, which is something.
It's the ultimate children's Transformers cartoon. And you know what? I totally understand it when the Hasbro brand guys said that they wanted Transformers Robots in Disguise to be a mix between Transformers Prime and then,
and Rescue Bots. Yeah.
I mean, it's
it definitely shows.
It definitely looks like a fusion of them. I guess that kind of gets us up to speed on everything. Yeah, it's going to be so exciting. I know that the Batman versus Batman v Superman, as if they're in court. That trailer is coming out really soon, and we've already seen part of a leaked trailer, and it looked fantastic. Yeah. So that's pretty exciting.
I don't worry for a second the movie is going to be good. We love Snyder. Love Man of Steel and Watchmen and everything he's ever done. I went to go see that Owl movie. I didn't plan to, but I wound up. Long story short, I wound up going to see that Owl movie he did, and it was so good. It was so pleasant. I enjoyed it so much.
Zack Snyder is an underrated filmmaker. I feel like most of his movies are pretty underrated.
Yeah. Sucker Punch, I absolutely love.
I totally agree with folks that, speaking of Sucker Punch, that's a Scott Glenn connection for Daredevil, by the way. But I totally agree with people that Man of Steel was probably missing something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was missing a little bit of joy of Superman.
Yeah.
I think probably a little too
grimdark.
But it's a fantastic Superman movie, and boy oh boy, Superman Returns bow to Man of Steel because you've never seen anything like this movie. Really great movie. Yeah, it might have been missing some of the comedy and a little bit, and the lightheartedness of Superman.
And I think that they've taken that. I think they've taken that. Criticism to heart, and I think we'll see some more of that. And I mean, because what you've got with the opportunity with Batman v Superman is that you can pour all that into the Batman half of it, and you can lighten up Superman some more.
Yeah, he can be as lighthearted, as possible.
Absolutely. So that trailer's coming out, and big summer, lots of stuff on the horizon. Obviously, Age of Ultron here in a couple weeks, but we got.
We'll definitely do a video for that.
Yeah, we got Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick. Mixed feelings about that one so far. I don't know. I think it'll be good. Yeah. I'm not excited about it.
I think it'll be a good movie. I'm not sure if it'll be a good Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, Ant-Man, kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I love Hank Pym, Ant-Man. I love those old 60s stories. I got the big collection of those. I think they're great, but I'm not feeling it so far. I think it's going to be perfectly fine, just like Fantastic Four. But
I think it's going to be. I think I might feel a little bit more than you do. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm not super excited though.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think it's going to be. And I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah, to me that's going to. That last trailer. Okay, the fight.
Yeah.
With the train set and Thomas the Train, that was fun.
Yeah, that's clever.
Okay. If the rest of the movie is as cheeky as that, then it'll be okay.
Yeah. But so that, lots to talk about there. Jurassic World. Excited to death.
I'm as excited about the Lego sets as I am the video games. That's as big a deal to me, those Lego sets.
Fury Road coming out this year. Mad Max 4, Fury Road.
Can I just do one more product shout out here?
Oh, yeah.
This is something we totally forgot. I think we both forgot. It is the Avengers Tower Lego set. It's very exciting. I have a bunch of my minifigures thrown on there randomly. Yeah. Let me get this to where you can see
Let's not false advertise.
Yeah, I don't want to show you that it actually comes
all
with
these extra minifigures.
Because it doesn't. But really, really cool. There's been some debate about this for some reason, because some people apparently believe that it would be an Ultimate Collector Series, a UCS model kit for $60 that would actually look just like Avengers Tower. Guys, this is a perfect toyetic version of Avengers Tower. Now, have a look at this thing. Not only is it a complete tower that you can just, spin around, it's its own thing, but it also, which by the way, I have this antenna down here because my shelf wouldn't allow for the antenna to be up here. You can actually open it up. There's rooms. Everything has a purpose. Everything seems like it's actually used in the movie according to trailers and everything. Down here, we actually have the Iron Legion where they can just pop out. We even have a little turntable up here, like a turnstile, where they're working on Ultron when the first version's being built. With
lightsabers.
Yeah, with lightsabers. There's a lab. I mean, you can see the scepter. There's my favorite room is this party room up at the top where it leads out to this balcony. It's got all kinds of cool battle features, like up here. You can actually flip out a little turret like this, and it has a little drone that comes out. Also down here, you just flip over, and there's little missile launchers and things that flip up. But, I could show you that stuff all night. This is a really cool set. Yeah. There's better Lego reviewers out there. Go check them out. Look up a review for this thing. Avengers Avengers Tower.
Yes.
Really great set. You'll love it.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Great.
Buy it for the kids.
Excellent play value.
Or yourself.
On the Lego front, I'm gonna say this too, that I've been buying all the new the pirate sets.
Oh yeah.
And they are just when I was a kid, the vintage pirate stuff was my favorite theme for sure. Not in Castle, I went back and forth, but Pirates is always where my heart was. And it's been about 6 years since they've done new traditional pirate sets, and man, they're just each one of them is kind of a soft remake of an old set.
Are some of them soft remakes of like Pirates of the Caribbean sets?
Not really, no. I mean,
so ignore those.
Those were kind of like some of the vintage ones to begin with, like the docks and stuff.
Yeah.
But these are just great throwback, and those old ones are so valuable now. There's no way you can get them, but these are just fantastic approximations with modern minifigures.
Really cool, just from like a general Lego perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
some of the most fun you're going to have with Legos this year.
Basically, what we're trying to say is, if there's a little boy you're trying to buy him a birthday present or something like that, I mean, you probably can't go wrong with a Pirates theme. They'll probably like a Pirates Lego set.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's toys for the last little bit, and there's we talked about Ultra Magnets, but there's not a lot of not a lot of apparent toy stuff coming out the next little bit. There'll be product for Age of Ultron and a lot of your big brands.
And so far, we don't really know much about the Episode 7 Star Wars product push. That's not really been revealed too much yet. A celebration is going on as we speak.
You'll probably see a little bit. We've seen some indications of what some things they may do are, but
I'm sure there's going to be a push on the 6-inch stuff because that's where
focus.
Star Wars is at right now. So, but yeah, I'm excited. A lot of great toy stuff has come out in the last little bit. I feel like we've kind of went over it's kind of been a toy like a hill in a way. There's been like a spike in toys, like good toys lately. And it's probably time. Things will probably cool down a little bit for a few months after this. But there's been some great toys. We're the guys that would know. Trust me.
Yeah, and see that's when you're a fanboy. There's so many things to get excited about. It's hard to be depressed or
There's always.
It's hard to get down.
What else
there's
is
something
going
so
on?
exciting.
There's always something around the corner. You've always got something cool to look.
When you're always waiting for that next episode of The Flash, or you've got a toy waiting for you.
Exactly. Man, The Flash and Arrow burning it up.
Oh
man, those have been incredible shows so far. Flash is definitely my favorite show on television. Arrow, very close second.
Good. We don't need to start talking about The Flash, or we're gonna get
into it. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Well, after the end of the first season of The Flash, we'll go back and we'll do a retrospective review.
That's where it's at.
Because it's just been phenomenal. And it's I'm going to throw this out there because people are going to be curious. Daredevil, in its own way, is a better show. Than those. But I want to qualify this by saying that these are two completely different animals. We're talking about a pay service, premium, television series versus fourth tier network TV. So
Which is what CW is.
Yeah, I think that they're two completely different animals, and this is not like DC apologist stuff. We're stating facts here. Just I don't think that there's a comparison to be made.
And plus, Flash is episodic television.
Yeah. I don't think it should be compared to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I know we talked about just because of the nature of them both being from Marvel Studios and Jeff Loeb and stuff earlier, but you don't compare Daredevil to anything. There's never been anything like Daredevil in the superhero.
Well, it's definitely a 12-hour movie that's just split up in episodes.
Yeah,
and the episodes can stand alone, and that's fine. Some of them can't really stand alone. No. They don't work on their own. Especially in the last stretch, there's about 2 episodes that don't really work on their own at all. You have to watch them as parts of the other ones.
But we just want to throw that out there because it's a hot point of debate right now. A lot of people carrying on about
Leave it to fanboys putting out the fire.
Yeah. Exactly. So there's the official Fanboys Forever stance.
There it is. There's the stance
on Netflix versus network TV.
Like Harrison Wells.
It's like comparing Game of Thrones to Hercules: The Legendary Journeys.
I think Harrison Wells and we'll say Ichabod Crane. I think he's behind it too. No, Eobard Thawne. I think Eobard Thawne and Harrison Wells are both behind it.
I want to throw this out there real quick, and we keep saying that and getting carrying on about stuff. But the comic book villain has come to life in so many brilliant ways this year.
Oh yeah, just this year.
This year, think about all these fantastic comic book villains that are coming to life on TV. You've got the Reverse Flash,
Captain Cold.
Yeah, Captain Cold. On Arrow, you've got Ra's al Ghul, who's like a real comic book Ra's al Ghul for the first time.
The real deal.
You got the Kingpin brought to life, brilliant. All these, just like iconic. I'm very partial to on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You've had Kyle MacLachlan reoccurring as the Marvel Mr. Hyde this whole year. And I love Kyle MacLachlan. I love Twin Peaks. Love David Lynch.
I really love Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, me too. And I hope, I hope maybe he gets a chance to fight Charlie Cox Daredevil at some point. I'd be so stoked to see that. But
it would be kosher.
Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, I guess now it's time to break into something a little fun.
This is our comedy feature for the episode, and we've done candy reviews, and we've done candy reviews. You've probably seen we've done some reviews of just
I know
stupid stuff.
I know that the children that follow us on YouTube.
Yes. Your
favorite video are the candy videos.
So we've got something that brings lots of our loves together.
Yes.
Okay, so we're a little late to the game on this, but today I was out and I've been eyeing this for a while, and it's on clearance now because the holiday's over. But I have this delightful Easter basket, pre-stuffed Easter basket.
That's lovely.
And as you can see, if you're an eagle-eyed trance fan, that is a bootleg movie Ratchet action figure in there. Ripped, right from Hasbro's mold. You know, I'm sure a cast of it's the Legends size Ratchet. I think from the Dirt. Well, I guess it's the first movie, but I know they reissued it in the Revenge of the Fallen line. But yeah, you've got neon colors Ratchet. He comes with a frisbee. He comes with the tops, some fake Beyblades. I guess is what they're getting at. And when 2 pieces. I mean, it's Skittles and Smarties, so it's lots of pieces, but it's 2 candy items.
Listen. Can I just throw this out here for a second?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you could have 3 months worth of fun out of this Easter basket.
Yeah.
I'm not being paid by Wonder Treats from Modesto, California to say that. Honey, you checked for that check in the mail yet? Look again, it should be coming from Modesto. I said look again! Sorry, are we okay? Alright.
I think so. On the back, we've got nutritional facts about. I assume
There's no nutrition.
on the back there's nutritional facts, but it's for lots of different candies. So let's assume that this is a generic backing for lots of different baskets. And I saw other ones. I just didn't. None of them had Transformers in them, so I didn't look at the candy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, $5 originally. I got it for $2.50. I'm not complaining. But let's crack this thing open.
I'm just gonna do this while I try to
This cellophane bag is so loud. It's probably drowning out everything that we're saying. Let's do.
It broke YouTube.
Let's old-time radio trick here. Is that a fire raging in the next room? We'll never make it out alive.
That was my horse scream.
But anyway,
Not as in the animal. I mean, I'm horse.
you get a this is a pretty nice ribbon.
Can I have this?
Yeah, absolutely. You get that ribbon, and
karate this
now you get to
thing
be Now you get to be Ryu from Street Fighter. Okay, it's got a twist tie on here, but you don't really have to untwist it. You can just pull this right
Well,
off.
that's a life hack right there. You just hacked your life.
Yeah,
Huh.
sort of. Anyway, I'm not.
Guys, this is a white guy wearing a Wu-Tang Clan shirt. I don't know how much of it you can trust.
Oh, the eternal struggle is over. Okay, so let's get this plastic off.
It's so easy.
Yep.
So much easier than just untying it.
And it's a good presentation for an
beautiful.
Easter basket, and it's the blue basket. So this is obviously the
The
boys'
circle of life.
and movie Ratchet, voiced by the great underrated character actor Robert Foxworth. So let's start slow here. Let's do the most boring part of all, is this frisbee thing here. And so these are all taped in here, and I've almost ripped the label off this frisbee just by taking the tape
Come on,
off.
man. Don't ruin my frisbee like that. I know you're the one that paid for this.
Don't do me like that.
Yeah.
Let's not sing any more Tom Petty before we have to pay those performance rights.
No.
But okay,
Get a
little
contract
green
flag.
frisbee, and it's. I'm going to throw it here in a second, but I don't want to yet because I'm still talking about it. But it's not very big, so it's not an adult-sized frisbee. Although you know what, it would be a challenge to catch it. So maybe we'll start a new thing. But pretty good. You could pretend it's kryptonite or something, I guess, because it's very green, or that it's radioactive. But anyway,
Brandon was very lonely as a child,
Yeah.
so he had to pretend things were kryptonite that were green.
other things. I had to pretend
underwear.
everything was something else. Let's see
It was
here.
pitiful.
I know you can't see this, but we're going to tell you if it flies or not, and you seriously have to trust us on this one. Just this once, but.
Whoa!
And it flew. It was it frisbeed.
It went
It
through the ceiling. They didn't see it. It actually curved. It defied gravity and did this number.
It was great. It was incredible, and we should have recorded it, but we'll never have a chance again. Okay, slightly less boring than a frisbee. Spinning tops. 4 tops, each in different colors. I sort of feel like they're doing 4 colors, like they want to do a Ninja Turtles kind of thing, but I don't know. But anyway, clearly they're getting it, trying to do Beyblades here. Are Beyblades a thing still?
No.
I assume.
No.
I don't know.
No.
But anyway, let's just open these guys up. They're in a pretty standard, pretty tough packaging. And there's 4 of them. And are you trying to get the candy early?
What?
We'll show a little restraint
What?
here. So tops, we don't have a real flat surface. But
We can't afford a real flat surface.
no, we used
Flat
to have
surface.
We used to have a table when we did these. We had
That got repossessed
We had
by
to
the-
make the rent.
I got repossessed by the bank. Yeah. I had bills to pay. What are you talking about?
But top spin.
It's like college all over again.
That top spins so well it spun right out of my hand. But there's 3 more of these, and we'll Somebody will.
You make a comment below and you send us a money order for $4.95. We'll send you one of those tops in the mail.
The official Fanboys Forever top.
We'll do it.
We'll autograph it and stuff.
I'll autograph it.
We'll lick it.
I'll lick it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll get a DNA sample with it. But okay, let's go. Let's break into this candy first. And
please.
I can tell Jared wants the Skittles.
Yeah, I'll take the Skittles.
Now,
Thank
Skittles
you.
are better than Smarties.
They sure are.
And Jared thinks he's better than me. And you know what? He probably is.
Well, at least one of us has said something worthwhile tonight. Come on now. It's taped practically all the way around.
There's no way you could you couldn't remove these candies.
Whoever the Easter Bunny is, he's a sicko.
Yeah.
It's kind of
that Easter Bunny from Mallrats.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so.
Look at this. Mine has tape all over it. It really makes me want to eat it.
Yeah. So standard package of Skittles, package of Smarties, yellow on one side, purple on the other, and they're not like the Smarties in the roll. They're the kind of bigger ones. They taste better actually. And I'm gonna put this out there. A lot of people think Smarties are terrible. They're like chalk candy. I love Smarties. I love regular. I'll buy a big bag of them and just sit on them.
I can just see you at home with a big bowl of Smarties. One night, you're like, it's Friday night, man.
Time to party.
Is there any wrestling on TV? Trying to look for the wrestling on television.
Breaking out the Cool Ranch Doritos.
Kids.
But Smarties.
Listen, he's eating these Smarties. You know as well as I do that if you see a bag of Skittles, you're going to go for the Skittles instead of the Smarties. Now have a look. I don't know if these are like maybe like Mexican Smarties or something like that. You know, who knows? Maybe they're like Skittles, whatever. But they're probably like the Haggard Skittles.
Yeah.
I don't mean Merle either. Talking about they're like kind of like been through a lot, but we're gonna see if they taste any good. We'll start with orange.
The Smarties are perfectly good.
And it tastes like a Skittle.
I'm gonna take the yellow, which is the worst Skittle, is yellow.
I'm taking a better Smartie.
So if it's okay, we know it's a good bag. Yeah, that's good.
It's not stale or anything either.
It's dated on the back actually. Best by 08/31/15. So
The Smartie's pretty good.
yeah, we're a few months out of that.
You know what's actually pretty delicious? A Smartie and then a Skittle at the same time. It's actually pretty pleasant. If you match up the flavors pretty well.
I'm gonna take that green one.
I'm definitely going to go for the unknown brown Skittle.
There's grape in here too. If you want a grape one.
That's pretty good.
Well,
they're not hard at all like old Skittles are.
You didn't get a lot of candy in this basket, but you got two, counted.
Like high quality candy.
Now, like all these other pre-filled baskets, why would you buy a poor child a pre-filled basket? These things are $5 to $10 a piece. You could buy $5 or $10 worth of etc. and put it together yourself.
etc. Like how we
and
put
it would
that.
be way better. And no matter what the kid says, I'm sure you'll back me up on this. When it comes to Easter, they want the candy as much as anything.
Oh yeah. For me, it was about candy and eggs that have money in it at church.
Absolutely, yeah.
How's that?
But like all these pre-filled baskets, there's no actual grass; it's just a big lump of paper. And it's even look at this. It's a single sheet of green, like tissue paper, crepe paper, and it's wrapped around this ugly, plain white garbage, just newspaper with no.
You know what I don't want to see?
What's that?
I don't want to see the facility
Where
they
this
like
is
pack
assembled?
it. Yeah, like where they assemble it.
Yeah,
I bet it's really strange.
I bet it's.
I bet it
not a
seems
place
like a
you want
place
to
you
work.
shouldn't be. I just poured Skittles all over myself.
No. You get this lovely basket to hold everything in after you're done opening it. So
This all pales in comparison to this, which is a Happy Easter activity sheet. Now, I want you to have a good look at everything on there. There's all kinds of fun and interesting games, like an egg-mazing maze. Can you believe that they attempted to make a pun that said egg-mazing? Egg-mazing.
I think that's going to go above a lot of kids' heads, though.
And fun math. Fun math, guys. Math is great and all, but on Easter?
Yeah.
Is the kid going to do math on Easter? We've got some very basic problems here.
It is 2 plus 1. Yeah. And look, they're getting into some algebra territory here. Blank plus 5 equals 7. If kids aren't
that's pre-algebra, son.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work. Like the maze is fine.
I just picked these up out of the floor.
But the other ones are word puzzles
delicious.
and math problems. I don't know. Anyway.
That was so good.
But,
Tastes like lint.
Yeah, that'd give you some extra... Oh, man, one of these come with warheads. We could have had warheads.
We could have warheads?
Yeah.
Oh. Easter's ruined.
Well,
Easter's over.
The Coupe de Grace is, of course, fake Ratchet.
I think you said that wrong.
Robo X truck transforms into a truck Transformers into a truck.
Transformers into a truck. Is that what it says?
No.
Oh, man.
I thought you'd go for it, though.
Ah.
But I really love the packaging on this. It's pretty plain, but it's really colorful. And there's a picture of the ambulance mode there, so that's pretty neat. It actually says in the bottom, Wonder Treats Incorporated. So this was Modesto, California. Check. So this was manufactured by the company that assembles the baskets. That's neat. And there's no shelf peg spot to punch out a hole here. So it's obviously manufactured for the baskets by that company. So that's kind of neat. So this is an exclusive Transformer. You're not going to get this Ratchet anywhere else. But I have this original mold. Pretty good little fit. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Legends size Transformers because it gives you kind of a small scale way to collect a whole bunch of characters. And a lot of times, if I'm not sure, like I did with Prime, if I'm not sure about a line, I'll buy up a bunch of those and see how I kind of like the basic feel of them. Probably what I'll do with the Robots in Disguise too. But let's go ahead and crack this baby open.
Crack that open. I'll be busy.
Now you may have seen one of our reviews a couple summers ago, and it was of a bootleg Firefly figure from G.I. Joe, and that was some of the worst quality. I got that at Dollar Tree. That was
garbage.
That was some of the worst quality plastic I've ever felt in my life. And let's see how fake Ratchet here compares. I feel like we need to come up with a name for fake Ratchet, like he's evil, like an evil name for him.
I know one. This is just a meaning. It's just call him Fatchet.
There you go.
It's almost like you're calling him fat.
Yeah.
At the same time as Ratchet. He's Fatchet.
But he's pretty loose joints. But the plastic quality, it's got some problems with like little, there's like little bits of stray plastic where they come off sprues. But it's not. I mean, get a good feel of this. It's not terrible.
I've handled worse.
Yeah.
This is my biggest thing is it's extremely lightweight.
Yeah, it's very brittle.
Yeah,
I'm sure this would work. But I don't know that it would crack or anything. I just think that it would, it's kind of, I don't know.
I can see I don't know how durable this thing is.
But I don't know. Let me see if this is such a complex transformation. I may not remember how to do it, but I'm going to do my best to not make a fool out of myself on camera.
Good luck.
Like I do every other time.
You cry about it afterwards.
Yeah, well. You gotta cry about something.
Yeah.
I tend to just cry alone, at night when I think nobody's watching.
Yeah. Hey man, we're still recording, alright. Yeah. Yeah, we can't edit that out.
Okay.
That's staying in.
It's he's clipping together okay. So let's
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Could this be better than the new Hasbro Ultra Magnus that's coming out?
I'm willing to bet, maybe.
It's looking like it. Okay, you about got him transformed?
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Okay, let me get one last pass at this thing. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, well, it's looking alright, but I think Brandon actually forgot a few steps in the transformation. Yeah. Okay, let me see what I can do with this thing.
Okay, what are you doing there?
Alright, much better. Now, as you can see, it really cleans up really nice in the truck mode.
I know I was got that
pretty
panel
amazing.
Slid
yeah, it was kind of, you sort of didn't have it quite right.
Yeah.
But I think the lighting was off earlier, so this is really wonderful. It's heavy. Mm-hmm. It got heavier. The plastic is a better
guess when
quality.
you condense it down, it gets, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know what it is.
Can I transform it back?
Yeah.
Here, let me transform it back. So we take this part, let's go down like that. Yeah, okay. Almost. Okay. Alright, here we go. So he actually looks much better now that I've got my hands on him. It's really high quality. Looks really nice. So, oh, sorry. I accidentally laid this garbage over here on the other side. This is like, sorry, this was, oh, I'm really mixed up now.
I've got my eye on
Yeah.
He rolls pretty good.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
White tires. Yeah. I'm very amused by that. Those things are going to get dirty really quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The front tires are pretty stiff. They don't want to roll at all. But the back ones roll pretty freely.
So what you're trying to say is like 8.5 out of 10? Yeah. You're trying to say maybe a 9?
Well, let's break this down into pure... Let's do a numbers game here. Let's say I paid $250 for this. Let's say that there are 5 items in this basket. Let's say 6. You have the basket itself.
Okay.
That's one item. You have the Skittles, the Smarties. You got Ratchet. You got the Frisbee, and you've got the tops.
And your dignity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the first thing to go. Mm-hmm. and the tops, the fake Beyblades. That's 6. Now, I'm no mathematician. I don't know how many times 6 goes into 250.
You don't know math, okay.
But that's how many cents you're spending on this. Less than 50 cents an item. So when you consider that I paid, what, 42 cents for this ratchet?
It's not bad for what it is. Honestly.
That's a great deal.
It's not bad.
I'm going to pay $45 for Leader Class G1 Megatron. That's 100 times more than what I paid for this ratchet. Think about that.
That's definitely one way to look at it, yes.
Now, is that 100 times better than this figure? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about 200 times better than that figure.
So, I don't know why we're even still talking about this.
Transform him back into Fatchet for a second.
Okay.
I went back into Fatchet mode.
Okay.
Fatchet Robo mode.
This.
All right.
Okay.
I want to do a comparison. So you get them all transformed up.
Okay.
Let's just see. Now here is the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Scale Ratchet.
Which is probably my favorite movie Ratchet figure.
Yeah, I really like it.
I got both versions of it.
It's a lot of fun.
The Red Alert colors and the standard.
Oh, I'm going Daredevil here. Okay. But
that's offensive.
It's a lot. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it.
It's too late.
We offend frequently.
We seek to offend. We offend with our smell.
So here is Ratchet here, or Fatchet, should I say? There he is.
You know, he's in almost exactly the same scale.
Yeah, these two guys scale up
for comparison's sake.
Is that Ratchet's brother, Larry, that comes to visit?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey there, Ratchet, it's me, Larry." Well, Larry, you'll never be the medic I am, but if you train very hard and you go to college, then maybe.
Fatchet Larry flunked out of Cybertronian medical school.
Can I just say for a second?
He had to go to Cybertronian veterinarian school instead.
On a more serious note about the death of fictitious characters, I don't really think it was really called for to have Ratchet be killed.
Like murder.
Age of Extinction.
Like brutally, yeah.
And I just think it's further proof. I don't think Michael Bay, he could care less about killing a Transformer.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he's even joked about it before and saying that he just kills the ones that he doesn't like anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, and listen, we're not Michael Bay Transformers haters or anything like that, because the Dark of the Moon was excellent, in my opinion. And the first one's a really good movie. But, 2 and 4 leave something to be desired.
Yeah.
Especially 2, which is awful.
Especially 2. One of the, talk about...
worst genre movies.
Talk about those build-ups, like we were talking about earlier. Getting built up for a movie and then getting disappointed. Whew.
That's one of the all-time greats. I walked out of the theater, I wasn't even saying
I was sick to my stomach. I walked out of Revenge of the Fallen.
But, I just think that was really uncalled for.
Yeah.
And really in poor taste. So.
But if you're a kid who loves seeing Transformers get blown up, if you were lucky enough to get this in your Easter basket, there's your Ratchet. You can just have your lockdown figure, blow his head right off.
You can. I mean, this is definitely probably how he looked after he was burned alive. So, good times. It's not bad. It's certainly not good.
Yeah. You got a movie prime over there?
Yeah.
You see him?
Here's one of the really good ones.
Oh, yeah. The Voyager.
Yep, the Voyager from Revenge of the Fallen.
Yep.
They bootlegged Ratchet! They sure did.
I'll tear them apart!
They bootlegged you too, Prime. Many, many, many times. Many times. You got nothing to be mad about.
In fact, I'd be willing to bet that there's probably more movie Legends bootlegs in other baskets that I just never saw.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, that's our, that's one of the kind of features we're going to be bringing. We're going to be doing something goofy like that in every one of these new episodes. Get back to the candy corner kind of format that we used to do, and we did a few times.
You got any wisdom for any reviewers this week, Brandon? Maybe leave them with a little bit of wisdom? I didn't think so.
I don't know. No,
No, you got nothing.
I ate at Long John Silver's earlier today, and it was great. But I always overestimate how hungry I am when I go there. Yeah. I don't do that with other fast food places, but every time I go to Long John Silver's, I'm hungry with my eyes, and I'll order a huge platter.
That's what most people go to Long John Silver's say. They say, "I'm hungry with my eyes,"
and I'll order.
But my heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, I'll order 2 times as much as I can possibly eat, and I always.
You tell me.
And it's maybe I'm thinking this wrong, because in reality, I just take the stuff home that I don't eat. I don't just throw it away. I take it. I get a box. Yeah, I take it and I eat it the next day or for lunch the next day or something. So maybe it's nature's way of telling me maybe I want to eat Long John Silver's 2 days in a row. Maybe I want to spend 2 nights in the bathroom instead of just one.
All right,
so that's my wisdom.
Basically, you're trying to say that sometimes, let me just wrap this up,
Yeah.
is sometimes when you get a fishing more,
Yeah.
you want the fish, but you don't want the more.
No. Yeah.
I see what you mean. My wisdom for the day, let me think now.
And this has got to last for the whole month now. That's how often we're going to do
Yeah,
this.
this is the wisdom of the month. I guess it can't be the wisdom of the day. It's got to be the wisdom of the month. All right, my wisdom is this. When you are in a store, in a retail establishment, and a man walks up to you offering you discounted Easter baskets, which may or may not be tainted, you should probably not purchase those Easter baskets.
Yeah, that's our new format. We just we wanted to pepper in all the stuff that we've enjoyed doing before. Not toy reviews, but toy discussion and movie news and movie discussion and something a little fun. We always love talking about candy and trying candy and stuff, which is not trying Skittles and Smarties is not like some funky new candy or something, but it'll be something in that vein.
Well, if I had some wisdom to leave our viewers with, it would be this. And this is my actual wisdom for the month. I would say, and this is something I've noticed this month, this is philosophical, but it seems as though you sort of create your situation. You sort of create your reality. And when I say this, I mean this. Based on how you act and what you do, you tend to influence or sort of be the people around you. People around you easily pick up on things you do and things you accept and things you don't accept, things you believe and things you don't believe. By projecting who you are and kind of being yourself, you almost create your own space in the world when you're around other people. So think about that one. If you have any insights on that one, you can leave it below.
Absolutely.
So be the change you wish to see in the world, I would say, perhaps. That's on a small scale. That's socially. You be who you want to be socially, I promise.
If you project your positive outlook on life, then I guarantee you it'll infect other people.
Good standards, you do that, and I promise you that it will spread as quickly as a bad influence would.
Absolutely,
I suppose that's my.
And the only difference is, I think, and I don't know. What do I know? I'm just an ignorant old Kentucky boy.
Absolutely.
But I think the difference is people strongly desire that good influence.
I don't
think people are out looking for bad influence. I think it just grabs them.
No. I don't know. I would just say the best thing in the world you could ever do is not thump anybody over the head with who you are, what you want them to be. By being around people and being who you would like to see elsewhere in the world, it is infectious. Especially if people believe that you are a happy person and that you're a good person. And that I think that it spreads as quickly as wildfire. So
Absolutely.
That's it. That's the wisdom that I have for us. So there you go. You feel enlightened yet?
Should.
If you don't, just take a flashlight and stick it on your face. You should feel really...
All the enlightening you can possibly handle.
It would be so bright. You get those weird purple spots in your eyes after that.
Yes, folks, that's a wrap for Fanboys Forever Episode 1.
Yep.
That is a wrap.
It was a good one. Yep, I enjoyed it heartily. This has been Jared.
This has been Brandon.
My best friend.
Yep.
And, so glad to be with you guys again. Please leave us a comment. Tell us if you like the new format, and we'll keep it going. Hope to see y'all later.
I'm gonna throw out one more personal note here. That Jared, we always making a point. Jared's my best friend.
Yeah.
We're best friends. This is getting back to the Star Wars idea. Jared and I met 16 years ago now. That's crazy to think.
Long time ago.
But one of the drawing forces of our getting together
far away.
was Phantom Menace. So I think that that kind of Star Wars enthusiasm is a big part of our friendship.
It's at the root of our friendship.
So this is I think as two best friends, this is an important event for us.
That's right.
So.
And getting to do Fanboys Forever is as much for my personal and social gratification. So I get to hang out with not only Brandon, but I get to hang out with all you.
Yeah.
It's just something we wanted to do.
Yeah, we get to share our style of hanging out with the world.
And you know what? In the end, that's really what influences this type of video versus smaller videos.
Yeah.
It's I know how it is to feel kind of sad, a little bit isolated, you know. And a lot of people do. Everybody does that every now and then. And finding stuff online, videos and different, you know, like vlogs and things like that, to where you get to kind of feel like you're hanging out, you know, with other folks. That's a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that you guys get to feel like you hung out with us for a little bit and talk fanboy nonsense. If you have a suggestion for a future video, be sure to pop it.
As always, drop us some comments, send us, inbox us, and like the videos, and got any suggestions or
subscribe to us.
Absolutely,
definitely. We'll sure be trying to put up more stuff. So.
Absolutely. And have a good summer, and we'll be going through the whole thing with you.
You bet.
Until next time.
Later.
Take care of yourself.
See you.